It's spooky season.
Oh!
Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go back. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gen X Unfiltered, the podcast.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, Gen X Kel and Gen X Steve.
Oh, I was supposed to say hi Steve, hi Eric. You threw me off.
I did. I'm changing things up.
I mean, you know I don't like change. I like to dominate. I don't like change.
Oh,
That's right.
boy.
This is why I put the graphics up on the top of the screen with our names.
All right, before we even start, we are going to put you guys out there listening and watching to the test. We want to see if this sound triggers any nostalgic memories. Here is the sound. Ready? Listen. Do you feel it?
I do.
Do you feel it?
I feel it. That sound like, oh my God. So many houses that had that decoration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
cheesy, like...
It's that like little shaking ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They play the little like, ooh noise.
yeah.
It was the like, woo noise of the
But
decade.
but that noise, I remember it being in more than just that ghost.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. It was
Yeah.
everything spooky.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Like the
That was
cheesy,
like-
they figured out how to make that noise.
That was like the early
oh.
90s spooky sound.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
like
everything.
It was like the ghost noise.
Yeah.
Why do you think kids always go, ooh?
Well, that's the thing. It was like a weird play on that,
Yeah, I remember it was always in something that was motion censored too. Like you walk past
Yes.
a decoration not expecting it, and then, then
Yeah.
you hear that little like, ooh.
Yeah, it
and
was
then
supposed to,
like,
scare
Eric,
you.
were you secretly the voice of that?
I actually was.
Oh my gosh, you're sitting on millions?
That's why I'm doing this podcast today. I'm looking for some
That's right.
royalties.
That's
It's been a while.
I was going to say, do you get residuals? You should open
Yeah.
your residual checks up on here.
Ugh,
And nowadays, I don't see that much anymore. Now it's way more elaborate, the Halloween stuff you get.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get into that later. But
Okay, so as you guys know, we're going to talk about Halloween as Gen Xers, as kids. That made no sense, but you get the point.
No, looking back on Halloween and the days of old,
Because-
growing up doing
Yeah.
Halloween in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Until we started talking about it as an idea, we're like, wow, there was a lot of like traditions and differences from when we were growing up as kids Halloween to like what we see now as kids for Halloween.
It's
yeah,
totally
tons of
different,
differences. Yeah.
Before we do start though, I'm sorry, I just have to say for those of you watching, and if you are just listening, go to YouTube and check out our videos so you can see we're decked out in Halloween gear-ish.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, I'm the only one wearing a costume.
Kelly's
just
wearing
saying.
a full-on onesie.
It glows in
Whoa.
the dark.
Too bad you can't turn the lights off. We need a little switch.
If we had like the clapper, we could.
yeah,
wear
we
it.
could turn it on and off.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Steve's wearing a Ghostbusters shirt,
That's right.
Yep.
and I don't know what Eric's wearing. It's
Oh, you know who this is.
It's our colors.
Yeah, exactly. It's our colors. It's also Michael Myers from
right,
Halloween.
Halloween.
I never know who's who, like Jason.
This is one of the best Halloween movies ever.
Halloween, it's
Yeah.
a good one. It's a classic.
It's a total classic.
So I have a list of notes just so we can stay, so we don't forget anything.
Yeah.
I have the same notes in front of me to keep you on
So
track.
Eric put together this handy list of Halloween
Yeah.
thoughts and
Oh,
stuff to talk about
That's
from...
that's from the previous podcast.
Jesus Louises.
I'm not as organized as I thought. Okay.
Okay, I was going to say, somewhere there was a piece of paper
There
with these notes
was.
on it,
Just
not just on
got-
Eric's iPad.
All right. So the first topic of discussion is going to be Gen X holiday traditions, more specifically our Halloween traditions,
Yeah.
because obviously we're the ones talking about
Yeah, we're
it.
speaking from our experiences
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask the question to lead into the answer. Ooh. So fancy. Steve, I'll ask you first. Did your family have any unique Halloween traditions, and how were Halloween celebrations? Like, whoever wrote this didn't write it very well. Eric.
ChatGPT did, all right?
All right. Did your family have any unique Halloween traditions, and how did you specifically celebrate like Halloween? It's the same question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Answer.
in terms of like
hit the first bullet point, you're good.
nothing like super specific, and from what I remember, usually it was like we'd order pizza, some of that, and then just we'd go out and trick or treat after
Okay.
that. Nothing like super specific, like we didn't decorate our houses up crazy. I mean, we always did pumpkins and stuff like that.
Well, since there's not oh no, there is. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say. Okay, well, let me just have you expand on that a little bit. So
Okay.
every year-ish, obviously, when you're a
Yeah.
kid, would you usually always get pizza?
Usually, pretty much, yeah. We order pizza. We'd get our costumes ready. Everything was usually 99% of the time was something we homemade costumes, and very rarely was anything store bought.
Would you go out trick or treating with friends, or was it just like you and your sibling?
When I was little, it'd be like my sister and stuff, but usually I'd go with some buddies of mine. And then, it was always the same thing up here. Right? Usually it was the debate of how do you get a winter coat either underneath your costume.
Oh my
God.
God.
Or, because being up here in Canada, it
Yeah.
It used to be cold. It would snow on all.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was always, you'd try and pick out a costume or to come up with a costume idea that would somehow incorporate either a winter coat or that a winter coat would fit underneath like a sweatshirt or something
yeah.
like that. There are many of those days.
Totally, I totally
was-
understand that one.
It was
Yeah.
the worst because, like, as kids, from what I remember, it was a lot colder than it is now. And the Halloween costumes always got, because, put on snow pants.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mom.
Oh, yeah.
The very first time I went for Halloween, I must have been like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And there's pictures of it. My parents took I was Batman.
Yeah.
They took my Batman costume that my mom had made and jammed it over top of my snowsuit. So
it's like you like this,
I'm
like-
like this puffy little Batman.
Oh, I wish we had have gotten.
Like fat man.
oh.
I wish we had got pictures we could have inserted of some of our costumes.
yeah.
Okay, well, Eric, what about, like, did you have something that you had every Halloween for dinner? I mean, I'm not saying everybody did, but just as a question.
No tradition. I remember we had pizza like once, or twice maybe, but it wasn't like a tradition. Like I think it was just
Yeah.
more like get something in you fast.
Well, that was, yeah.
Get some food in you fast. Get your costume on and get out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't. There's no specific
Well,
tradition.
that's boring.
What about
Hey,
you?
well,
Yeah.
don't judge my house.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
let's hear your
kidding.
crazy traditions.
Yeah.
Well, mine's not crazy, but I'm just saying it was just one of those funny things. Like, every Halloween, we had the exact same meal. I mean, it was obviously just for ease of effort. Like,
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
was, but it was just so funny. And we would have this on other nights, too, but every
Yeah.
Halloween was the same thing we'd have. Like, tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches.
No, that's boring.
Solid.
That's boring.
We never had pizza, but it was always the same thing every time. But here's another question. I just want to make sure it's not on the list up ahead of time. Nope,
Maybe
don't see it on
Do you want
here.
to take a pause and read the notes?
No, I just read them. I was being funny.
Oh.
Because the list was done not by your brain, by the computer's brain.
Yeah.
The machine.
I thought I did everyone a favor.
The machine's not as smart. Okay, here's another question. Steve, I'll ask you first. Did you have, like, growing up, did your parents and you decorate for Halloween, like, outside your house?
We always did pumpkins, but that was usually kind of it. Mm-hmm. I think that was, kind of it. It was really just pumpkin. One year, I remember my buddy and I put out, like, a dummy. But that was, just once. Other than that, it was just the usual pumpkins.
What about you, Eric?
We did jack-o'-lanterns every year when I was a kid. And then as we got older, we did like kind of a small haunted house thing a couple times. Mm-hmm. That was more like, at that point, it was done trick-or-treating. So
Oh.
we switched up and became the haunted house.
It's weird because my dad was like he loved Halloween, which is so weird if you know my dad. It doesn't really seem like his thing. But we used to, in very like 80s/90s, mostly 80s fashion,
Yeah.
when I went trick-or-treating. It was all like homemade, but we would make little ghosts and hang them in the trees.
Okay.
We would have the pumpkins.
What'd you make them out of?
I'm trying to think if we made.
Paper
Honestly,
mache?
I think it was like paper towels or Kleenex.
I was gonna say for some reason they were talking about. I remember us doing
Yeah.
out of a sheet once.
Yeah, and we would hang them from the tree, and this would be like a
I'm having
week.
that weird memory where now
It's flashing
we
back.
did that once. I think.
A week before Halloween, we do it all. My dad, we had like we were attached to another house, and in between we had this flower bed. But my dad
Yeah.
would turn it into a graveyard. He made a whole like
Yeah.
gravestone out of plywood,
Oh, wow.
wrote
You
on
went
it.
all out.
We even made I don't know what it was, stuffed with newspaper, like a scarecrow type thing
Oh,
on
wow.
the chair. He would
Yeah,
stuff it
yeah.
with newspaper, and it was like put the pumpkin on top as the head.
Whoa.
My dad went all out, which is
Yeah.
weird. If you guys know my dad, it's like a weird.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah.
But one of the other things he used to do was we always used to play haunted music. Maestro,
Well, we just might have said haunted music.
That's
One
right.
second.
We
this is the
found-
exact tape. Everybody listen. It's a pause in the music.
Give it a sec.
Ooh!
This is that cheesy.
Wow.
It's not all music. It's also like
Yeah,
sound effects and stuff.
it was that cassette tape that you could buy that
Yeah.
had like the orange sticker on it, and it was just like haunted sounds.
We just happened to pick the one spot that was cats meowing.
It's going to be cats meowing for a second.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll keep it on in the background for some ambiance.
Yeah.
It'll be fun in the background.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to fast forward on this thing.
I
but,
feel like those
No.
cats need some food or something.
it sounds like they're humping.
Steve went there.
Those cats are to eat, baby.
Oh, boy.
This kitty's ready to purr.
Give her some pussy.
Can we all... Okay.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
We're cats. Let's talk about cats.
People really have to like listen all the way through to find these hear these little gems that pop out.
Well, we're talking about cats.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying here.
Okay. Anyway, did you
Pussy cats.
did you like how I was able to transition that sound in?
I did, yeah.
Segue it?
That was very. I wasn't sure how we're gonna get that in there, but that was pretty smooth.
Yeah, we found this on
Yeah.
on the old YouTube.
I may talk a lot, but I have good ideas.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay.
So I got a question for you guys now.
Yeah.
That I don't think it's going to come up here, but just sort of made me think of Eric. How old were you guys when you stopped trick-or-treating?
Oh, that's a really good
There's
question.
always that weird
Can
time
I
of like,
answer that one first?
absolutely.
So back then, my mom had this rule. I don't know, it was just her rule. But I mean, it made sense because by that time you were kind of over it. But like,
Yeah.
the rule was not once you hit high school, you couldn't
Okay.
trick or treat. So
Yeah.
I don't think I trick or treated right up to grade 8. I probably did it my last year, I think was grade 7.
yeah.
Because I was kind of like just over it at that point. I had more fun handing out candy.
Okay,
But my
yeah.
mom's rule was like high school.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I'm hearing in my
Oh,
headphones.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Don't be distracted.
What
It's
noise
fine.
is
I think
that?
there's some torture going on
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
the
like,
background.
what is going on there?
Yeah.
What about you?
Me? Yeah, I want to say like 13 was kind of the cutoff.
Yeah.
Like grade 8, probably. I think was the last. I definitely didn't go in high school. By that point, it was like, yeah, you're kind of old.
Well, it just felt weird.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
want to say like grade 7 or 8 was probably my last year, I think.
Same. I think grade 8 was my last real year going out. I remember in grade 9, some of my buddies went out and they came to my parents' door and they were
Yeah.
like, "Come out with us." So I did.
Yeah.
And it felt really weird and wrong. Like it was late and we ended up getting into some hijinks after the fact. But like,
Usually
Oh,
that's the
Eric
case,
and
yeah.
his hijinks. I can't imagine it was anything crazy. Can you tell the hijinks story?
I cannot. I do not want to incriminate myself or any of my
That's right.
former colleagues.
Why can't you just speak in generalities?
Let's
What's your
just say.
hijinks?
Let's just
It
say.
can't be that bad.
No, nothing crazy.
See, I
some,
knew it.
some vegetables were broken on the street. That's all.
You
Pumpkins.
Smashed pumpkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that's not like you're gonna get arrested 30
Hey,
years
I had a very
later
tame childhood. For me, that was bad news.
in a little small town.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you in the local newspaper the next day?
We may have been. No, we weren't local.
I just-
No one gave a crap about that stuff.
I just
Yeah.
think it's funny because Eric was like, we got into some hijinks and I knew it wasn't going to be anything. It wasn't like you were stealing cars.
No.
They went all out there.
No, it was nothing crazy. Like some pumpkins got broken and like, people leave like a bowl out by the door.
Did they do that back then?
Yeah, leave the bowl out and just like take some, like, like trusting.
Yeah, it was. I
we,
remember.
we took the whole thing. So
You can't do that shit now because they have cameras and stuff.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Then you see it the next day. You'll see it pop up on like Instagram or something. That'd be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
video of like a family stealing all the candy.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
didn't take the bowl, which is nice. We just took the bowl,
Oh.
emptied it in our sacks, and left
Yeah.
the empty bowl in
That's
the back.
really
Yeah.
generous of you.
Exactly.
You didn't want
He's
to
not a
take the
degenerate. He's
bowl.
not a bowl stealer.
Yeah, exactly. We left the bowl. God damn it.
All right, now that we've heard about Eric's hijinks and his
You know,
Foolery.
The local sheriff to some hijinks going on 30 years ago. So
I was a
it's,
bad adolescent.
that kind of brings me to the whole like, Steve, were you a hijinkser at Halloween in your teenage years?
I'm going to take the 5th.
No, tell the stories. You
There's
can't
no way
be-
he can top my story.
There must be a statute of limitations. You can't get in trouble now.
Maybe, but I'm not going to get into it too much. Yeah, we did like some dumb stuff.
Oh, apparently Steve's is saucy. I didn't mean saucy.
Saucy Steve.
I didn't mean like saucy. I meant like, if Steve's not willing to say that, it
No,
must
we
have
just
been
did dumb
not
shit. Yeah, no, there are definitely some smashed food items, some other things may have
good. Eggs thrown at
happened.
houses, toilet paper.
Potentially both of those, maybe a little something more.
Okay.
Devil's Night.
All right, all right.
Devil's
all
Night was a
right.
thing back then.
Yeah, Devil's Night, yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't do anything bad.
Yeah,
No,
right. What
yeah,
did
I
you do?
really didn't though. Like
Kelly
honestly,
probably like did like one of those I know you did last summer things, probably like
no.
killed somebody.
Yeah. Or,
Kelly was a little narc. She's probably like, looking at her window for like, there's the bad guys.
no, but
She had
here's
spy tech.
no wait.
She had
Here's
the camera.
the thing. Here's the thing. When I went out trick or treating, it wasn't. I didn't really go out with a group of like school friends. I went out. I had a bunch of friends like on my same street, but they were all like
Yeah.
younger than me and stuff. So like it was just different.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I
I
don't know.
loved it. Like as a kid, I loved Halloween. Like going out
Oh,
trick or
yeah.
treating and some of that. It
I was the good child. I
Halloween's
didn't do
probably like
anything
my second favorite holiday behind Christmas, I think.
Yeah, I
bad.
still-
Christmas is actually your first because I think Steve said Halloween's his favorite.
Yeah, I still love Halloween. I mean,
They're
I
just
like Christmas too,
different.
but Halloween's always. I've always loved Halloween. Like I love this
Me
time
too.
of year. It's
Yeah.
great.
All right, let's go to the next one. Since we like the first topic kind of covers everything, but we'll just be more specific now.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Eric's checking to make sure I don't go off script.
I very much am because you're known to go off script and just take our podcast to deep dark territory.
That's
I know,
right.
I just but then I can always pull us back.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so trick or treating. Okay, here's a quick little thing. I don't know about you guys. I'm just gonna put this image in your head, and you can be like, "Oh yeah, I hear that, girl."
Okay.
I want you to say "girl" too. Do you remember? Okay, guys listening, we're from Canada, so this is our Target.
Okay.
Or Walmart, because Walmart never was here the whole time.
No, when we were kids, there was
No.
absolutely no
No
Walmart.
No, it was Wilco.
So
Wilco or Zellers.
we
Yeah.
had Zellers, which was our department store, and
Yeah.
I remember going to Zellers every year, and they had those costumes that was a plastic apron and then
yeah,
a
and,
plastic
the
face mask.
Yeah,
Yes.
with that piece, like the little rubber, like the string that would go
I
on.
didn't hear yes, girl. I just heard yes.
I will not be saying yes, girl, on this podcast.
But can you like literally when I say that, can you picture going to the store and seeing? them
Oh
all
yeah,
hanging
and it
out?
was
Yeah.
like it would be hanging up, and there's just the little mask and
Rows
the,
of
whatever
them.
it was like.
They were terrible, but
did you,
everybody has
did you
them.
guys ever have one?
No,
I
we
was
made all our
I
costumes.
don't think I ever had one of those.
And
I don't think I did either, to be honest.
that was the equivalent of like, you know, Spirit Halloween now where you go
Yeah.
pay $50 for costumes. Like it was literally an apron. Whoever's editing, maybe you can try and find a picture and plop it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find one.
Just
Oh, yeah, you
like
can-
it was literally a plastic apron.
That was like a
and
picture of like Superman's body or
Yeah.
something. It was like
Yeah.
Superman's outfit
It
or
was
something
so
like
With
that.
a plastic Superman mask with
Yeah.
some small eye holes cut out of it.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to breathe out of those things.
Oh, they were because the holes
you had like
were so
a little
small.
tiny mouth slit hole.
Yeah.
And then the two eye holes.
Yeah.
And they were sharp. Like
Yeah.
that plastic was really
And it was
sharp.
like right up against, yeah, it was like right up against your face.
So
Like,
Oh, yeah.
awful. Terrible. They were the worst.
but that was Halloween costume wise, like that was
the elite.
like it.
That
Yeah.
was like
Like,
that was like,
there was no Spirit Halloween store
No.
or anything like
No.
that.
so
I know.
growing up, I had all homemade costumes, like 100%. I mean, I rotated. I was only like maybe 5 things throughout my whole Halloween lifespan.
yeah.
I can name them. I was a rock star.
Gem? Were you
Fancy.
Gem in the
Kind
holograms?
of. I was a rock star. I was okay. I don't know what the politically correct term is, so I'm just gonna say what it was back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
An unhoused?
Yeah, like, but with the whole like burned cork charcoal like beard, and then the little like
Like the little-
bandana on
with
the
a little
stick.
like little stick with the
Yeah, you guys know what
Yeah.
I mean. I don't know what to say, but you know what I mean. And I was
hobo
that
style.
hobo style. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That's what we called it.
The
like,
hobo, yeah.
I had jeans that my dad ripped, but the burned cork.
That's pretty
Yeah.
smart. We burn cork and then like
Oh, yeah.
smeared
You
on
use
so
that to
like,
smear?
those had like that unshaven like beard kind of
yeah.
look.
So I was that a rock star. It was very popular to be a baby.
Okay.
It was like I don't know if your sister was ever a baby, but like it was
I
very.
don't think
Oh, of
so,
course
but
not.
either way,
Making me
yeah.
crazy. So I was a baby, and I like those 3 were on rotation.
Oh,
I
really?
did one year when my sister was still trick or treating and I wasn't.
Yeah.
I really wanted to make something like super creative, and I think it was pretty damn good for like the 80s or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
90s. She was an Oreo, and I made the costume with like Bristol board. She wore all white, and then
With,
Bristol
like-
board circles
yeah.
on either side.
That's a good idea.
I
yeah.
was really freaking proud of that. That was pretty awesome.
That's pretty good.
So you made a cookie.
Yeah, but it was cool for back then. I
Cut
came
some
up with it all on
circles
my
and,
own. Okay, but you guys answered the same question. Like, what kind of costumes did you
oh,
have?
I did all sort like everything was always homemade, but I would buy some. Like I remember one year when it was like a ninja, so I think I had like some stuff that was sort of store bought, like some little pieces.
to
but
create the outfit. Yeah.
yeah, but it was all like just. I mean, I went as Phantom of the Opera once. I remember that like my face I
Okay.
painted that because we saw it in like grade
8.
grade
I
8.
saw in grade 8.
So I remember going to. So it must have been sometime. I remember going to Phantom, but so I had like a cape and like put white paint on half my face.
Can you throw it a little verse of Music of the Night
Sing for me.
Whoa.
or whatever the song is? Anyway, go on.
Music of the night?
Yeah,
Music of that was my favorite song in Phantom.
that was great, Phantom. I haven't seen that since. I've never seen that live. Changed my life.
Pantages Theater,
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
I kind of think about who's the guy that was.
Calm Wilkinson?
I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. But I remember going as that, like as a ninja. I remember going as like an army guy. Like I remember wearing like painting my face green and like black with like camouflage and like wearing like I don't even know where else I wore with it. I went as a what else? Jesus.
Okay, but what was your favorite,
Oh.
if you have one, or one that stands out in your head the most?
Yeah, I'm trying to think now.
Clearly none.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think of like one favorite. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't even remember half of them now. I'm sort of blanking on
But
it.
I'll go to-
every year I want to something different.
I'll
Than,
go
Yeah.
to Eric in a second, but I just want to. This one thought I had, but that was like a whole.
I'll be over here.
No. I want to hear what you have to say. But I'm just saying. But that was a whole like, at least in my house, it was like a whole like preparing and making your costume. It wasn't like thrown together at the last minute.
oh no! It was like there was planned out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, Eric, go ahead with your costumes. Name off a few.
I had a lot of like superhero costumes. I was like Batman was my first time out. I remember being Superman. I was a Ghostbuster one year, and then
Did you make the costume?
my mom did. My mom was actually a real whiz with like the sewing machine.
Nice.
That's
I know,
cool,
so
yeah.
I was pretty lucky. She made some pretty good costumes.
A
That's
good
cool.
80s mom.
Yeah, exactly. So she made me a Ghostbusters costume that I loved, and a Ninja Turtles costume that was pretty amazing.
Oh, I
Yeah,
wish we should have got some pictures. That would have been fun to
yeah.
post
My
it.
Ninja Turtles costume was actually really good. It was like looked pretty authentic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
Made
if,
out of rubber and everything, just like the movie.
No, Steve.
If-
With that rubber. Thanks for taking a crap on my costume.
if we can, whoever wants to, maybe we'll insert some pictures as a kids.
I know my parents have some because that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of their pictures. I remember like they had some photos.
And
of
if there's
us,
other
like-
people in it, we can just bleep out their faces.
And if anyone's wondering, I was Raphael.
Oh, you weren't Michelangelo? I
No.
thought he was like the shit.
My brother was Michelangelo.
Were you Ninja Turtles at the same time?
Yep.
Twinsies.
No, he was a different one than me.
Yeah.
Did
I
your
know,
dad
but-
dress as Splinter?
That would have
And your
been
mom was
amazing.
April O'Neil.
Oh no! Oh man, we dressed up like the family cars, like the ninja van.
Yeah.
Or the turtle van,
The
whatever it's
turtle
called.
van, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That'd been
what,
awesome.
what? So let's just say like 99% of it was homemade, obviously.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite if you have to pick one, or one that stands out?
Probably the Ninja Turtle.
Just because it was a kick-ass costume.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
But
good
the
one.
Ghostbuster one, like I saved that costume, and I was like all year dressed up as a Ghostbuster and just play Ghostbusters with my friends and stuff.
Okay, maybe we don't say that out loud, Eric.
Oh, sorry.
When you're a kid, it's cool though.
Yeah, when you're 7 years old.
Yeah,
you're like,
that's like, we're like 6 or 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were 17, smashing pumpkins as a Ghostbuster.
no, it didn't fit when I was 17. I'd grown at least 3 inches by then.
Eric was a little
Egon
boy.
just smashed my pumpkin.
Hey,
Eric
don't
was-
cross the streams, bitch.
Okay, so now, like we said, with us on the costume topic, now I don't. Yes, there are people that homemade their costumes, but I would say 99% of costumes are store bought now.
Well, it's totally different now. Like, with Spirit
The
Halloween
options?
and all this stuff, it's so much more commercialized Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff you can buy is crazy.
But here is kind of an interesting thing that I just thought of. So every year, mutual friends of ours have a Halloween party, and we usually go, and we dress up because she's very big into Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, as grown-ass adults, 90% of our costume, almost all, 100% of the costume is still homemade. Literally homemade.
I know. Yeah, I know. Now that you're saying, yeah, I think
Isn't
everyone.
that funny?
Yeah, I think everyone there has like.
No, but I
some-
mean ours specifically.
Oh, ours specific.
Yeah.
But even the people in the not all of them, but
No.
there are still.
But I was
homemade
talking
ones.
about us specifically. Like we'll spend. Speaking of which, I have to figure that out. But we'll
Yeah.
spend like a week like going to the thrift
Well, that's all
stores
part
and
of the. To me,
finding
that's all part of
stuff.
the fun of it. Like, I mean, going to the store and just picking out a costume
Yeah.
and wearing it. That's cool too, but it's not as fun as.
Making your own.
Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
really weird now, though? Like back 10, 15 years ago, we'd go to like Value Village
Yeah.
to find like costume stuff and be like, oh, look at this really old jacket from the 80s. Isn't that crazy? Like really weird stuff.
Yeah.
Now we go and it's like, oh, I own this before.
I think
Oh
this
my
is my.
God.
I think this is my shirt. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We should
But-
put up a couple of pictures of ours because we
We
made some
will,
good
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Like the Zoolander costumes we did.
Zoolander was
Axel
good.
Slash.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses,
Frank-
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Hall and
yeah.
Oates. That was probably
Hall
my
and
fave. Hall and Oates and Guns N' Roses were my favorite because you guys did really good on those costumes.
Those are really good.
Those
The-
are good
the
ones,
wrestling
yeah.
ones are good too.
No, they were, yeah. But I mean, I think it's become kind of this like weird little, not weird little, but like a tradition where you guys kind of have like a theme costume and like you go all in with the.
Well, like
Yeah.
the one that I always
Yeah.
laugh about is like when we went as Zoolander Mugatu.
That was good too.
And like I made that Mugatu shirt like I
Yeah.
don't know, cutting the letters out and all this stuff, but
Yeah.
then like now you can just go buy it.
I know.
Like
you
the
go to
whole-
Spirit.
Yeah, like I even bought the wig and had to like buzz down the middle of it to try and get the hair kind of all weird. I had the
We're-
fake little dog, but now
we're-
it's like you just buy it all together for like $60.
We're definitely gonna insert pictures because those were
Oh,
good
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Did you win that Halloween costume contest? Did you win that one?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
forgot you
that's right.
actually won. Yeah.
Eric
Yeah.
even wore a blue satin shirt and leather pleather pants.
That's right.
I did. It was.
You went and dyed your hair bluish.
I did.
Sprayed it blue.
Oh, I did. I
Yeah.
did spray it blue. That's right.
Those
Yeah.
were good, and he even put eye makeup
I was
on.
gonna say
I
I
did.
think there was some guy liner going on.
I had some guy liner, and I practiced my best blue steel for about a week before. And,
Do you
It
remember?
was glorious.
Yeah.
Okay, out of all the costumes, because sometimes I go on theme with them, and sometimes I don't, just because
Was
again,
was that the year you went as Kate Gosling?
Yeah, I was gonna
that was good.
say.
You had the Karen haircut.
that was a pretty cool. I was shocked. I was like, damn, this
That was
is
good.
Oh
great.
my god! I gotta find it. The best is when Kelly was Macaulay Culkin.
Oh my god!
That's where it's from because
Last time I decided
that
to
was
join
a few years ago, and the three of us thought it'd be fun to do it together. So Eric and I went as
the
We're the
bandit.
Wet
we were the
Bandits.
Wet Bandits, and Kelly went as Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
I remember she bought a wig and
And I-
decided she needed to trim it up. And I'm like, you got to be careful trimming those wigs.
You can't grow it back.
And especially, I'm like, because if you're going to cut the bangs, I remember hearing that, like, don't cut
Cut
them
'em straight
don't cut
across.
straight across. Because it'll look weird. So
Yeah.
Kelly cut them straight across. It was like literally like a perfect square of hair. It was like,
She looked like a golf ball in her
Yeah.
I
head.
did. I'll have to find a picture that was terrible. Now, I mean, your guys' costume was good. Like I said, sometimes I'll join in, but you guys always put way more effort than I do because I'm like just too lazy to.
I
like,
think that
go
kind of
in.
goes that theme of us doing more effort kind of goes towards a lot of things in life.
And no, it's true. I'm just along for the ride.
no, I love Halloween. So yeah, I would much rather make my own costume. It's just, I don't know, it's just more fun.
Oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
sometimes they look like crap, sometimes they look great, but it's just, I don't know, it's all part of the fun for me.
they find like creative workarounds, right? Like
Yeah.
for our Breaking Bad costume, remember like the
respirators were like,
respirator we made was out of like gum wrappers.
yeah, we
gum
bought
packs.
the bubble tape.
The bubble
gum,
tape stuff, yeah.
And then a face
yeah.
mask.
a painting mask.
Drilled holes through them and used,
Yeah.
I can't remember what we used to hook them on there, but.
Yeah, so they're homemade respirators.
Yeah, because I remember like to buy a respirator
Well,
was like
yeah.
$100. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah,
I'm not
no.
paying that for this.
Yeah, but you know, it looked good in pictures and stuff.
Well, that was the thing. Just
Yeah.
for the pictures up, yeah, it was great.
Eric, I'm gonna send you all these pictures because I usually try and take a picture, and then you can just pop them in as we're talking about them because
Sure.
they're really good. I think people will enjoy that. So if you're just listening, head over and watch so you can see.
Yeah, we
the
should also put
pictures.
them
On the
up.
tubes.
The Halloween's coming up, so you could check us out on Instagram
That's
at Gen
right.
X Unfiltered. We can put those photos up there.
Shameless self promotion.
That's right. Yeah, come give us a follow on Instagram.
Oh, maybe on TikTok you could do like a little
Yeah,
like video of them.
put a little
Look
thriller
at
or
all
something
these
like that.
ideas that are coming to my head. Yes, and then when you guys were Slash and Axel, remember I was an '80s groupie.
Oh yeah,
See, I kind of
Yeah.
go on theme. I just
Yeah.
wanted to dress '80s.
It's always fun.
yeah.
Reminisce of the old days.
Okay, so
It's like, what is going on?
there's a lot. Every so often I hear it, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
"What is
whack
going
Yeah.
on?"
I was like, I hear screaming. And
Now it's just white noise. So hopefully it's not too loud, but whatever.
Yeah,
it is
I don't
what it
know.
is now. Okay, so Halloween snacks and treats. So I'll encompass this with, I'm going to ask the question. I like asking questions. When you were kids, we talked about this in another podcast,
Yeah.
but okay, first of all, I'm going to,
Hold on. We thought there's a modern trend about in trick or treating we didn't talk about.
trunk or treating.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
About what?
Oh my God, he's so anal with the list.
Trunk or treating.
What is that?
Okay, people go and they'll go in a parking lot and open their trunk and people walk around and pick
So it
their
kind of started with like
treats.
church groups and stuff, where
Yeah.
they'll like in a church parking lot.
Yeah.
Instead of going trick or treating, a safer option is to come to the church parking lot where a bunch of people have parked with their trunks open, and the kids come and they give them candy from
I mean,
that.
it's
from
Is
that.
fine.
that actually? I've never
It's
heard
a
of
thing. It's a thing. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I've never
people
heard of
do
that
it.
before.
I mean, it's fine. Like, people decorate their trunks and stuff. I mean, like, whatever. It's cool for, like, churches and stuff to do it. But, like, I don't know. It's kind of lame. The whole point's going door to door.
Yeah,
door to door.
I mean,
I think so.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to say lame. I'm just saying that's definitely...
I
like-
think it's more fun to go door to door.
Yeah.
I think so. You know what
Yeah.
that is some people are like, oh, we're afraid of we're afraid of our neighbors and it's not safe. So
Yeah.
that's probably why it's like, oh, we'll just make it more of a
Well, I mean, I think it's just also, like, usually, like, an activity the community, whether it's
Yeah.
a church or a school or something like that. And, you know, also, like, to mention, like, I mean, for whatever belief or whatever, but a lot of people don't actually like Halloween and the,
oh yeah,
that's
like,
no,
true,
a lot of
too,
people-
yeah.
evilness of it, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like they'll
'cause
go
it's-
do
yeah.
trunk or treating, like where it's more like just fun and like hay
Yeah.
bales and stuff like that.
lame. That is
Well,
lame.
I mean, that's
I've never ever heard of that, and I don't know. I still like going out. I'll go take a walk.
Apparently,
in
it
the
started
neighborhood.
like in the mid '90s.
Oh, really?
they did it. I mean, I think there was a little bit where it was like a high trend. I don't hear about it super much anymore, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? Celebrate how you want.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, I don't know. I'd never even heard of that before, but I would just go door to door.
Am I allowed to move on now?
You sure are.
Yep.
Host.
Thanks. Okay, I'm going to ask this question. When you went out trick-or-treating as a kid, what was your candy receptacle?
Oh, good
Oh,
question.
me? Well, as I
Oh.
was older, it was always a pillowcase.
Always a
Always
pillowcase,
a
right?
It was big and it was not going to rip.
Yes.
As a little kid, I'm sure I had like a little plastic pumpkin or something or other. Remember these you get those little treat bags that were like almost like plastic, like cellophane.
Yes.
I remember having those, but those would always. So I remember it was just always a pillowcase.
Eric?
I had grocery bags or like department store bags, like plastic ones usually.
Ugh.
But my favorite one ever actually was a McDonald's like trick or treat bag.
You
Yeah.
never used pillowcases?
No.
What's wrong with you?
No, that was
But,
pillowcase was always my go-to.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, everybody I knew used pillowcases. It was awesome.
because
Yeah?
they're big and indestructible. So it's like you could have 25 pounds of candy in there. It's not going to
I
rip.
know. It's smart, but I didn't have that.
No, yeah, that was always a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, everybody had pillow. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but it was like a thing to see people with pillowcase. I think there's even pictures of me as a kid with our Halloween costumes holding a pillowcase.
Yeah. I always use a pillowcase.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Anyway, that leads into my second. Now I forget my second question. Oh, okay. My second question. Don't worry, Eric. I'm on trend, sort of.
You're doing better than I thought.
We're still talking about Halloween, so we're doing all right.
Yeah. So, okay, you have to pick one because it's
Okay.
fun to make
Okay.
you guys sweat. But as a kid growing up, what was like the jackpot favorite candy that you would get and be so excited for?
Ooh, that's tough.
Like, just make one up if you don't know.
I always liked the little caramel bars. Those were always good.
Okay, but that before Eric answers, that reminds. Okay, Eric, no, answer first.
Can I say full-size chocolate bars?
Yeah, I mean,
Those were like
that's
the
fine.
holy grail.
Yeah, like a full-size chocolate bar was like freaking amazing to find in your bag.
And
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be honest,
It was a rare thing.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
Mine was a can of pop. There was a house on my street that always gave out like Orange
I remember
Crush.
people giving out cans of pop.
But here's the thing that reminds me, like when we were growing up, yes, they existed, but it was not the chocolate candy bar, mini bar thing that it is today.
No,
It was
it's-
suckers and rockets and
Yeah.
caramel pieces.
There's lots of those random candies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Fun fact, sorry to Kelly mention it,
Rockets
but
are-
rockets, just for anyone listening who is in America, what you guys call Smarties,
is our rockets.
we call those rockets.
No,
Yeah.
we would get Smarties. That seemed a little bit more common, but the mini everything.
Yeah.
If you got, at least for me, if I got mini chocolate bars, that was like, damn.
Yeah.
My dad
They were
would
good.
steal all my Mars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mars was
Mars
always
was
yeah.
good. Good stuff.
My dad would always steal the Mars. I was so mad.
Where now it's just like, I mean, like you go to the whatever grocery store, Walmart, it's just like whatever
Yeah.
the main brand is, it's every single one of
Yeah.
their candy bar brands and mini ones, right? That's pretty much all those boxes are.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
if you like Mars or you like Kit Kat or whatever, like you get the same, whatever that, all their sort of sister brands are for that company.
Incoming old man gripe. Has anyone noticed the shrinkflation on Halloween
Oh,
candy?
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know, like the Reese's Halloween candy.
Yeah.
It used to be like a one peanut butter cup, right?
No,
No,
it's like
now-
a quarter of one.
Then that's it's like a mini cup.
It's like a little
Yeah.
thicker one. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like what the hell's this?
I know.
Yeah, it's
Everything's getting
crazy.
smaller.
I know.
Well, okay, here's my question. We all had siblings, so I'm sure that adds to the whatever.
Yeah.
But you are finished trick-or-treating, you come home, and what's the first thing you do when you come home after trick-or-treating? Go.
We would just dump everything on the floor and start going through to see what you got.
Yeah, my mom would do a check.
Yeah, my mom did too. But I mean, did they really check? They just, oh,
It was
we're
like
good.
it was a look like okay,
Yeah.
this apple.
There's no
nah,
razor
we'll throw
blades that
out.
are going
Yeah.
to kill you.
No, I never ever had any
No.
issues with anything.
My
ever.
parents may have inserted some razor blades in my apples. I'm
Probably
not-
like,
Well, okay, but
joking. If you're listening,
did you, like me and my sister would come, we would dump out our candy and we would sort through it and then we'd trade. Did you ever trade?
oh yeah, yeah. You sort of look through and be like, oh, I really like the Mars bars. Whereas,
Yeah.
oh, I really like the Tootsie Rolls or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'd switch them around. Yeah.
What about you?
oh, we never traded.
No, you guys were little like hoarders.
Mine,
figure
this
I
out.
was gonna
mine.
say, I can see everyone with
Yeah.
just like on either side of the room, like, don't even look at my pile of candy."
Exactly. Oh man, no, there wasn't trading, but it was more like griping and like evening things out. Say if I did get like 2 big chocolate bars, but I
Yeah.
only got 1, it'd be like uneven, and my mom would come and make it even.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just mean. That's where all your issues come from as an adult, isn't it?
I think so. It was very even Steven in my household. So if something was
Yeah.
called out and it was not even, my mom would be the
She was the-
equalizer.
She
And-
came in with a butcher knife and
exactly.
cut it in two.
Well,
Exactly.
here's another question.
Or she'd say, "You guys can't sort this out. I'm taking all your candy away, and you get none."
Well, here's another question. So in my house, the rule was we had our bowl of candy. My dad
Yeah.
would take when he would pay the candy tax for taking us out. He would take
cheese
his little
tax.
pile.
That's right.
And we would get one of those plastic Tupperware bowls. You know those bowls that you use for candy, popcorn, vomit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the
the
random
bowl, that
yeah.
bowl that was used for
Yeah.
everything.
the utility
Yeah.
bowl. Everyone had one.
Like,
Yeah.
used for
Yeah.
popcorn and vomiting.
We,
Whatever.
we had a big green plastic one.
Yeah, ours was like a yellowy one. It was the same like Tupperware.
Yeah, we had like two of them. They're like this
Yeah.
weird little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our candy would go in that, and we had 1 week where we could keep the candy in our room and just kind
Ooh.
of be like, whatever, if you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
like a free
eat
for
too
all.
much. But then usually 9 times out of 10 after a week, all the good stuff would be gone anyway, so we didn't
That's
care.
usually the problem. You get to that stuff where you're like, eh.
But we had 1 week where we just left it in our room to our own devices. I'm not gonna lie, my dad totally snuck it when we weren't there, like obviously.
Oh, I'm sure my dad.
But what
they
was
got
your
into it, too.
guys' rule for your candy after? Did you get dispersed? Was it hidden in a locked cabinet?
No,
what
I
happened?
think I was just out. I don't remember any sort of rules or whatever. It was just kind of there, and you could eat it when you want. I never had to like ask permission or.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my house was different.
You probably locked yours up.
I didn't know. My mom locked ours up. It was in the white cabinet in the kitchen.
So your dad.
And so it was a super loud old cabinet. So if you opened
Yeah.
it, you could hear it. So
She was
so
savage.
we couldn't
Yeah.
sneak it out of there. It'd be really hard to sneak candy out of that cabinet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
You're-
the rule was, I think after dinner we could have a couple pieces of the like chocolate or whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
But it was only a couple pieces.
Did it last for like a year?
Oh my god, yeah. Like it was Christmas time and I still had Halloween candy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. No, my parents. I think it was just out and you just eat it when I want. Like I don't remember
I mean,
ever having to ask. or
ours
anything.
was the kind of
Yeah.
thing where we just naturally got sick of it, or it was
Well,
like the
that's usually
Tootsie
the
Rolls
thing, I
left.
get-
Nobody
I-
wants those.
I always
Yeah.
like Tootsie Rolls.
Wasn't a Tootsie Roll fan.
No, I like them. Yeah, I always
But-
like them with the little caramel squares that were in cellophane.
You
Yeah,
like those?
were good. The
Yeah.
craft ones.
I'd love to give you trade you those because I hated those things.
If only we could trade these now.
I know,
I would
let's
trade
go back
you
in
my
time.
Tootsie Rolls.
Like
I would have taken them.
little
both.
Steve, I got some. I
Oh,
got some
love
craft
those, yeah.
caramels.
Yeah, I love those little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know what it works for now. Like I know my sister with her kids, it's kind of like for like a day or two, they just free for all, and then she puts it up in the cabinet. But they're old enough now; they just kind of go in there and get it. And at
Yeah.
some point, my sister's just like, whatever.
They're gonna
Once
eat
it's
it,
gone,
like,
it's
yeah.
gone.
Well, get rid of it. It's just easier than have to deal with it anymore. Whereas
Okay.
Eric's mom's divvying it out for like 6 months,
Yeah.
causing her own headaches.
Oh,
But
yeah.
wait.
But at the end, it was just like the shit no one wanted.
Well, no,
Yeah,
exactly.
because
Yeah.
your dad would sneak shit.
Oh, yeah, he
and
totally
they-
would.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
The chocolate bars were he was in those. The chips, the mini chip bags.
Yes.
He was in those all the time too.
But okay, but here's
Good
the thing.
God.
Do you guys remember that trend that was really popular a couple of years ago? People still do it, but it was really popular where, oh my God, it would break my heart, where parents would tell their kids that they ate all their candy.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I remember
that was a
seeing
Jimmy
that.
Kimmel
Oh
thing.
Yeah.
my God, some of them were so
Oh, yeah,
these
the
poor
kids would lose their
kids.
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so sad but funny.
Some
It
of
is
them were
very
really
funny,
crazy
but
too.
yeah.
Like some of the kids are actually really impressive because they'd be like, they'd take a pause and be like, "I forgive you, mom. It's okay."
Yeah, they were so sweet. And then
Yeah.
the mom's just like, oh.
And that-
Yeah.
like-
Mom's like, I feel bad now.
Why did it raise you to be so normal?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of caring. Damn it.
Ah.
And then the kids that would just like be devastated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Their
my
minds,
gosh.
yeah.
That's cute. Did you guys have any like I don't know. I feel like it was different back then. Like Pinterest wasn't a thing. It wasn't like Pinterest moms. But like did your moms make like Halloween treats and stuff?
No, not
My
Halloween.
mom didn't
No,
really. Like
I don't think so. No.
No.
Not that I remember. No,
I don't think so.
they had
No.
specific things that
No.
would make it Christmas.
Yeah,
Always,
yeah,
they still
but
do.
not
But
Halloween.
Halloween, no.
all right. All right. Can I move on now?
Let's.
Feel free.
Eric's the what do they call those people in debates? Moderators?
Taskmaster.
Eric's the moderator. All right, we've talked about costumes, we've talked about traditions, we've talked about the candy.
The most fun,
The
important
candy.
part
The
of the
candy.
whole, the reason for the season.
Let's
The
talk.
reason for my current dental situation.
Let's talk about TV shows as kids. The Halloween specials that would be on. Example. Eric put examples. The Simpsons.
Yes.
Halloween special.
Oh yeah, the Trails of Horrors.
Why
I
is
love those.
Buffy was this you or the computer? Buffy the
This
Vampire.
was Chat GPT.
Yeah, right. It was Eric.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was like way beyond our
That's
childhood.
actually
Yeah.
true. It was.
Yeah.
What about the? Oh, that wasn't that. Well, my mom used to watch. It wasn't really Halloweeny, but it was that.
The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Charlie
That was
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Halloween?
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was more like Thanksgiving-y.
No,
No,
that was
those
totally
are
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I've never seen it clearly. But my mom loves that.
To be honest,
I liked it too a lot.
Never seen
The Great
that.
Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I remember it, but I haven't seen it in years. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's where Linus he skips trick or treating to wait for the Great Pumpkin in the pumpkin
Yeah,
patch.
that's right. Yeah.
And it doesn't happen.
Oh,
And I'm just trying to. What
Yeah.
other Halloween? I'm just trying to go other
I
Halloween.
remember when I was a little kid, like the Great Pumpkin I'd watch. Garfield Halloween I'd watch too.
Okay.
That was a cartoon Halloween
Remember-
special.
Remember Mr. Boogedy?
Yes, I love
don't-
Mr. Boogedy.
I don't know if that was a Halloween thing or not. It was
No.
obviously like a scary.
But along the same lines, I had like a fever dream. I'm like, this is actually real though. Like,
Yeah.
so the Disney Halloween special, I think it was called the Disney Halloween Treat. They had like it was hosted by this like talking jack-o'-lantern.
I remember.
Do you remember that thing?
Yeah.
No.
No, but like they show like different like old cartoons from Disney that were like
Yeah.
like spooky
Wait.
themed,
Yeah,
like the
that's-
dancing skeletons.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
We're,
yeah.
No. We're supposed to make Eric think he's crazy, Steve.
Oh, sorry.
no,
No, I don't
never.
do that at
That's
all.
so weird. What are you talking
What's
about?
Disney? I've never heard
What?
of this Disney.
Crazy. Are we gaslighting you enough?
I know I'm right. So you guys can say all you want.
I don't know. I don't know. What you're
I
talking
just don't know the name of the jack-o'-lantern.
No, but it did-
he was like the host of different like.
Yeah. Now that you're
Clips.
I'm totally remembering that, but I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that just definitely sounds familiar.
Yeah, and like I used to love the Disney Headless Horseman cartoon.
I remember that. The
Ichabod-
Headless Horseman.
Ichabod Crane,
Ichabod
yeah.
Crane, yeah, I remember that.
Was
yeah.
it the Headless Horseman?
Yeah.
Yes, that was creepy. I didn't
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was the
It was
cartoon
the Legend
one,
of
right?
Sleepy Hollow. I
Yeah,
guess?
yeah.
And then obviously The Simpsons.
That
The
was
Treehouse.
like the best Halloween special. Was always The Simpsons.
I still
Yeah.
try and watch them when I can.
Same, yeah.
And I love like on Disney Plus now they have them on there, so yeah, I'll have to go and watch them just for fun.
Okay, what about iconic horror movies? So, okay, let me ask. You guys know I love to ask questions. Okay, Steve,
Yes, Kelly.
what is the first like horror scary movie that you remember watching?
I mean, honestly, it's probably something like Ghostbusters. Not that that was like a super scary movie.
Okay,
but
what's the first movie you remember watching that kind of scared you?
Oh god, I don't even know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Uh,
Eric, do you have
Can
answers?
take a is this Yoko Ono screaming right now?
I don't know.
it's her new album.
It's become white noise now.
Yeah.
I know. It's just.
It kind of does sound like
I think it
her.
might be Yoko Ono.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just remember.
anyways.
I do. This is hearing these sounds. I remember walking past
Oh,
certain houses.
yeah.
You hear this
Oh,
blare
yeah.
to like a stereo in their front. You know,
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the sign of a good
tape
house.
deck in
We had
front
a
of the house
tape
and-
deck that was like on the porch.
Yeah, you'd be on
Yeah.
the porch just playing this
Yeah.
this cassette tape. Yeah.
My dad one time got creative and we had windows in the front and he'd open the window and put it up in the window so you couldn't see it. So it was like,
Whoa!
really
So where's it
spooky.
coming from? There's screams coming
Right?
from inside the house, man.
Right? Exactly. Okay.
Run!
Eric, you have to answer the movie question. Do you remember a movie that first scared you as a kid or one that thinking back is like, ooh, gives you the heebie-jeebies?
I mean, lots of things scared me when I was a kid.
Well, I know, but
Yeah. But movies, I remember like liking the first, the Friday the 13th movie with Jason.
how old were you when you watched that?
Okay. I was probably about 7 years old, so I'm not sure which one it was, but I was at my grandparents' house and they had, it was called First Choice, which was TMN, like
Yeah,
the movie
yeah.
like way back in the 80s or whatever, right?
Yeah, I remember First Choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my grandpa actually had that. He had pay TV.
Whoa.
I'm
I
just
know.
impressed your mom let you watch it.
Well, my grandpa probably overrode her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He's like, we're watching this. If you want to stay in my house, this is what we're watching.
This is what's on the TV tonight.
But-
This
Yeah,
was- back then, there was
exactly.
only one TV.
Did it like
Exactly.
give you like? Did it scare you as a kid?
A little bit, yeah, but I was like also like really fascinated by it. Jason got zapped by a lightning bolt. This must be one of the sequels.
Yeah.
He got zapped by a lightning bolt and came back to life out of the grave. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Oh, okay. I never watched any like real. My dad didn't watch. Like, I mean, I grew up with a sister, so
Yeah.
like it was just different. Like
Yeah,
my dad
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really watch horror movies, so we
Which
really
is funny
didn't.
because it was on Halloween.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's weird. But okay, I'm sorry. I'm jumping a little, but this just reminded me, and it was like amazing. We got the game Nightmare.
Oh,
We used to play it at Halloween all the freaking
Answer
time.
me. Yes, my gatekeeper.
The young one. It
Yeah.
was so
Come here, young one.
we used, and the thing is the stupid VHS tape just played the same damn thing every time
Well,
we
yeah,
played the
it
movie.
didn't
Yeah.
change ever. Yeah.
So, but you thought it was all like, oh my god.
Well, I remember the commercials
He's
that was like
alive.
so intense. It's like the kids are playing those like,
Yeah.
like wind blowing the kids' face.
Oh.
Yes, my gatekeeper. It's like,
We loved that game.
They had a bunch of sequels for that too. Like instead of like the gatekeeper, they had like somebody named Baron Samdi and like
really?
you
yeah,
guys-
he was like a crypt keeper or something. And
Oh,
like,
I
Maybe-
love
yeah.
Tales from the Crypt
Maybe-
too.
Oh yeah.
Maybe this is my fever dream, but I feel like us and a group of friends like played Nightmare like
We
as
did.
adults.
We
did,
played
yeah.
it.
Like
right?
Yeah.
One of-
like
one of your
years,
friends
years ago, your friend
had the tape
it,
still.
and there's
Yeah.
a bunch of us, and we all were like, we got to try
And
it.
it
It
was
was like,
so
We were probably like
stupid.
25, 26.
was
yeah,
so
and I was like, this is,
stupid.
and we were probably half in the
Well,
bag,
yeah.
but it was
That-
like,
that
this
too,
is,
yeah.
but I remember it's like, this is amazing. It's so terrible.
Oh,
But
yeah.
so nostalgic.
But we all got into it. We were like, we're answering the gatekeeper
you-
and stuff.
you gotta
Yes,
answer
my
the gatekeeper.
gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh yeah, I
Come
don't want
back and get you.
to. I don't want to find what happens if you don't.
It's funny how it just
drag you to hell.
it like takes you back to that time, right? Like when
Yeah.
you play, you're like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I remember as a kid thinking it was so cool, and my dad would play it and stuff. And then now
But it was
it's
like a big thing. Like it's like just talking about. I kind of forgot. Like I remember like
Interactive.
Tales from the Crypt being on TV with the
I
Crypt
love
Keeper
Tales
and
from
all
the
that.
Crypt, yeah.
But like I mean, it's different now because obviously terrestrial TV but like all that stuff seems like it's not really around anymore.
no.
But even the Tales from the Crypt movies and all that stuff, like I loved all those. I remember
yeah.
Tales from. I used to get Tales from the Crypt comic books.
Oh, you had the comic books?
Well, they're like I think they're like from like the 50s and they're like
Yeah.
reissued and so on. I remember I had a bunch of those. I remember reading them all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like there's more scary stories to tell in the dark. Remember those books too? I
Mm-hmm.
remember reading all that stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. I like Halloween and stuff, but I was never really into like the TV shows, the movies.
Yeah, and all those
that
like
kind
the
of stuff.
books and stuff like that. I remember I had some. I don't even remember. It was from. But remember the Scholastic book fairs?
Yes.
Oh yeah, those were.
And
the
remember they
shit.
would actually someone would come to the
Yep.
to school and like sort of sell you on some of the different books.
Yep.
They read you a little teaser from
Yeah.
the
That's
book.
where I got.
Yeah.
That's where I got the more scary stories or scary stories to tell in the dark. I got that, but I got this one. It was like an Alfred Hitchcock book. It was a bunch of different short stories.
Yeah.
Of horror ones, and some guy like had to spend a night in, like a museum or something like that, and like going crazy and like slicing their own neck or something like that. It was really weird.
Crazy.
Or the guy came and sold him like I had to have that book.
I just had a flashback to something that's out of sequence, but whatever. We're out of our topic, so we're
Here we
just
go.
kinda
Kelly
jumping
found a
around.
way.
No. I got all weird, like no. Oh, anyway, when you guys were kids, were you allowed to wear Halloween costumes to school?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think they would do
man.
like
Yeah.
the day of Halloween. It would be
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
I think they would do, like maybe a parade
Yeah,
or something like
you got
that.
to wear your
Yeah.
your
But
full
yeah.
costumes now, and whatever. I
Yeah,
mean,
we had a contest, I think, a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%
and
remember wearing it to school.
nowadays,
That was the whole
like,
point. You had to have a cool costume.
well, yeah, it was like I remember like sometimes I had a like school costume and then like going out to Halloween costume, just
Whoa,
depending
two
on
costumes.
like, well,
Oh.
depending on if like
Outrageous.
it was like
Well, the going out costume again. Living in Canada, it was always like geared towards.
it was you had to plan for winter.
What the weather's going to be like. We're just going to school, yeah, because you're inside, so you could
Yeah.
wear whatever you wanted. But it's like now you have the winterized
version
of it for that night. Yeah.
But nowadays, like kids don't. A lot of the schools don't do dress up. They
No,
do
they,
like an orange and black
orange
day.
and black day and stuff like that. Yeah.
Which I mean, I understand the reasons for it. I understand, all that kind of stuff. Like, so never mind. I was gonna go down a path that I just don't feel like arguing.
No, but it's just
So-
now. There's all sorts of different. Yeah. Like,
But-
not everyone likes Halloween, so.
I have like a stitch in my throat, so I keep clearing it. But
Maybe it's the
now
gatekeeper.
it's in me. That was creepy.
That was really weird.
I realized afterwards how that sounded. But yeah, now it's like the orange and black day, and you just I don't know. That was the best day at school because it was kind of just like you had to like do school, but like it was just fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
no one
usually-
did work on
Well,
Halloween.
no, like
Yeah.
usually the teachers had like little coloring activities or crafts or like
Oh yeah,
parades
you do like
and all that
Halloween
kind
themed
of
stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
it was super fun.
Oh,
at
that was
school.
awesome. Now it's become too. Everyone's so sensitive, and it's whatever. It's
Yeah.
just different.
Yeah. Well, okay. Do you guys have any other like little memories that popped in your head throughout this that you want to chitty chat about? I'm here, guys. I'm here to listen.
One thing we didn't really talk about, but like, and the difference now, like you drive around, how many houses are done up for Halloween? Whereas
Oh,
when we were
yeah.
kids, it was you'd have some people playing the music like this, but it was it was not the same as it. Like others like people have like 15-foot high like pre-dot like skeletons. And all
But
this
that
stuff.
begs
Oh
the
my God.
question. Because growing up, at least in my neighborhood, all the houses that were decorated were all homemade decorated. Were those better than the like going to Home Depot and get a 12-foot skeleton?
They were more original. I will say
Yeah.
that because it's not so much, but it's like, oh, look, that guy's got a 12-foot skeleton. Oh, so does that guy. Like,
Oh yeah.
so you
Mm-hmm.
just see the same things
That's-
everywhere. Like it's
that's exactly
just-
it.
Whereas the coolest house I ever remember seeing when I was a kid.
I was going to
was-
ask about the coolest houses.
Yeah, and I always remember it. It's around the corner from us, and I only did it once remember it, but literally, like their front storm door, they had put like cellophane or something on it, so it was reflective, so it looked like it was a glass,
Yeah.
or it looked like it was a mirror, and it was just a hand out of it, and the hand they had done up all with like warts and stuff on it, and in front of the hand was a bowl of candy,
That's cool.
and they would just give you the candy. So obviously they were sitting on the other side, and they could see you, and yeah, so it was this creasy like hand, and they would just, and I remember. Somehow the pumpkins like would shoot flames or something like that. It was something
Ooh,
crazy.
that was
Like it was
high-tech.
so cool. And I just the only thing I was remember is the hand.
Yeah.
With like, and it was all done like with warts and stuff like that. And it was just the hand through the door.
So
It was really really cool.
my coolest on my street, and it did it every year, and it used to, even though it was the same every year, it used to freak us out so bad. It wasn't crazy decorated, but he had the like one of those. Remember back in the day, you'd have like the door, and then you'd have like a screened-in porch, and then your front door,
yeah, yeah.
like the two kind of doors.
Yeah, like a storm porch or whatever
Yeah,
you call
which
it.
is
Yeah.
actually really handy because you can keep all your shit there. But anyway,
Yeah.
he had a house like that, and he would dress kind of like. I'm looking back. It was
Scantily?
looking back, I think it was like the guy in your shirt, like
Oh,
that
like
kind of
yeah,
costume.
like Michael Myers.
Was he the one that wore the like mechanic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, but I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And he had one of those strobe lights that made you look like you were like.
Oh, I remember those
Oh,
strobe
the
lights.
strobes, yeah.
It would look like it was like slow motion.
Yeah, and he had red light. So it was red light, the strobe light, and just him in that costume. And it used to freak. We would be like, oh my God, let's go. And we knew it was the same thing every time.
Yeah.
And like, the next day we'd see him mowing his lawn. But it's like, it was so
Yeah.
scary. Every year we all looked for, his house was like the favorite house the whole entire
Oh, that's
street.
really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you? Did you have a house that was?
Yeah, there's a couple houses like that. I remember one house with like a strobe light, sort of like we talked about.
Yeah.
But there's one house I remember getting a really good jump scare at, and at the front of the house on the front lawn, they had a couple like dummies, but one of them was a real person.
That's my
I
favorite.
was about to-
Yeah. And like you look at one and like, oh, that's a dummy, and like you're never sure which one's the real person, and of course the guy like
Oh.
jumps out and he scares you.
I love
Yeah.
I was
that.
going to bring that up before, but I was going to say, I remember that a few places you go to and be like, is that a real person or is that even, you're not
Nah,
sure? And
yeah,
then, they jump out. And
I
Yeah.
love the jump scares though.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's nothing that makes my adrenaline go.
Oh yeah.
I think the problem is nowadays probably more people are probably hesitant to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, someone's going to fall and break
Yeah.
their ankle and...
Or someone's gonna get upset or something.
Well, there's
Yeah.
also lots of people who have like sensory and like stuff like that where
Well,
it could
no,
like.
that's what I'm saying. Some people
Yeah.
are
Back
like,
then
I'm
they didn't
just-
care about that shit. They just did it.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't like, get off my lawn. Take your
But-
chocolate bar and fuck off.
Hey, Steve, we said we weren't going to say the F word. Eric can say pussy, but you can't say the F word.
Pussy.
Apologies, listeners.
Just kidding. But no, that was such an evil laugh. What's wrong with you? Ew, weirdo.
Pussy.
Stop. But
That was really creepy. I felt really dirty saying that. I'm sorry.
okay, but you said it like 7 times. It
Well,
can't
I'm
be
gonna
that
edit some of that
dirty.
out.
Oh my god, I hate when Eric edits. He takes out all the fun stuff.
No, I don't. I leave in the best stuff.
No, you don't. Steve's just maniacally. What's that word? Manically?
Maniacally.
Maniacally.
He's Dr. Giggles.
Laughing.
Good horror movie. That was a weird movie. He cuts himself out of them. I used to have a Dr. Giggles poster
Oh,
that I got from like Video Flicks.
I remember Video Flicks.
Yeah, they used to sell the old movie posters for like $1.
A local blockbuster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the favorite houses. I mean, I think that's, oh my god, it's so fun to think back at things that you just don't remember until you talk about it. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah.
Definitely now there's way more houses done up, but it's because
different, though.
But it's because you can just go to the store and spend
Yeah.
$200 and
Yeah.
do it all yourself.
Like,
It's,
there's still a couple of houses in my neighborhood that do the homemade decorations, and they're always my favorite. Make their own,
They
like,
just do
little-
some way more creative stuff.
They
yeah.
make their own little graveyard, and yeah, they might
Yeah.
go out and buy the foam gravestones, but they're like making it.
No,
and
and they're
putting
doing more
out.
to it.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, I just bought this thing and just plop it
Yeah.
on my yard and done. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always loved the home. At least when I was a kid, I remember like people having their houses decorated for like all of October.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'd start
Yeah.
like October 1st. It would be a whole thing. But anyway, that's fun talking about stuff. Makes me feel a little old though.
Yeah, Halloween is
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up soon, a couple of weeks from now.
It also makes me feel a little bit sad that the kids nowadays won't get to experience that good old. Because, okay, really quickly before we end, but going back, when my parents used to give out candy, they would have to buy for like 300 plus kids.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore.
No, my parent. I remember as a kid, my parents. Yeah, we would like
Tons.
tons of kids. Yeah. Now it's doesn't like you. It. Yeah.
It's
Probably
just-
under 100.
Yeah, well,
You know,
yeah. But I
yeah.
mean, I think just in general over the years, like trick-or-treating's kind of like not as like big. Like when I was a kid, I remember our neighborhood and my street, it was like a neighborhood thing. Like all the
Yeah.
parents who stayed back to give out candy would be sitting on the porch. It was like just like a
Yeah.
big community like thing
Yeah,
back then.
yeah.
And I just feel like maybe some still do, but generally speaking, I feel like it's not
Yeah.
quite like that.
No, it definitely feels like I know. Like when I like give out candy, it's like now it's like
You might get like 5 kids. You're like, cool.
maybe more than. But yeah, like I mean, if I get like 30, it's like that's a lot.
Yeah, but what like
We know what that means. That box of candy you buy, the
well,
leftovers,
You
not
always,
yours.
Right,
you always
yeah.
have to
Not
buy.
a bad thing.
You always have to buy for 200 just in case.
Exactly.
The very first year in when I first had a house, I was like, I'm gonna be that. I'm setting the precedence. I went to Costco and I bought the big full size chocolate bars. I gave away like 4 of them.
Oh my
Yeah.
So I
god.
was like, well, that was one and done.
Not doing that again.
I don't, not so much. I don't give it as more. Because I'm just gonna eat, and I ate all of them.
You would have thought that word would have spread.
That's what
and,
I thought. I
over
was
the
like,
years,
yeah,
like, didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Well-
Dreams crushed. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. Then I'll start doing like haunted house stuff, and it's like, well, no one's coming to the door. There's no point. In
Now
that.
you're just the miserable man who does nothing.
No, I
I'm just kidding.
now I just go out and I like to check out all the go and
Yeah.
see what's going on in the hood.
All right, guys. Well, comment below and let us know your favorite Halloween tradition growing
Yes,
up.
let us know.
And just for an added bonus, your favorite Halloween costume. you wore.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, then let us know some of your classic Halloween costumes you guys have gone out as.
We love reading about Halloween, and we like reading about your experiences.
Absolutely, yeah. Let us know.
Anything you want to add, Eric?
No, I'm just listening to Yoko play us out.
Eric, okay, well, Yoko's playing us. Well, I'll do the little send off, and then you can crank that little tune up.
I'm
right?
ready, I'm
Are
ready.
you ready? Eric's been waiting all time.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's podcast. We thank you so very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everybody.
Have a
Happy
spooky
Halloween.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Boo.
Boo.
It sounds a little pornographic.
What is going on? Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I put the wrong audio on this.
Halloween porn. Okay, bye.
I think it's Frankenstein's honeymoon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.